Hey, my people, we're live. And as you can see, I'm not at home. Just wanted all my subscribers to know that my surgery is in the morning at 7:30. How's that? Is that better? Is that better, Zach? Let me start over then. I'm having surgery on my neck tomorrow. I have put off having this surgery for several years because the previous surgeons would not explain why I needed the surgery, what would be the benefits of having the surgery. There. Is that better? Is that better? I switched to the iPad mic. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, I bought these here, and they are wonderful. The time on them is about an hour and a half, and I've done about 2 hours of recording with them. Um, so the reason for my surgery is I have trouble with my left arm, and the my left hand, if I move my neck a certain way, my left hand just automatically opens. I put off the surgery for about 5 years because the previous surgeons could not explain to me what they were going to do, why they were going to do it, what the recovery would be like, and what would happen if I didn't do it. This surgeon is named Dr. Rochesano. He explained everything in intricate detail. He said that the weakness in my left arm and my left hand just opening automatically is because the vertebrae at C6 is putting pressure on the nerve that controls my left arm. He said, if we don't do this now, the weakness in your left arm will be permanent, and you run the risk of that vertebrae cutting the nerve off that controls your left arm. He said, once that's cut, it's it. There's no more getting it back. He said, you will lose the use of your left arm forever. So what they're going to do is they're going to make a slit on the left side here. He said about 1 inch. They have to push my vocal cords out of the way, and and that they have to go in and pull out the discs from C4 to C6, and then they'll put in a synthetic material in place of it, and then they have to put plates and screws to hold my neck together, and that well, and that will repair my neck. And they also said that for the first day, I probably won't be able to talk. I won't be able to swallow very good because they pushed my vocal cords out of the way. She said my vocal cords have to get used to being back where they belong because of being pushed around. Said that I will be on a soft food diet the first day, and then the second day, I have to cut up meat in little tiny pieces and drink lots of water. And I said, well, that's a problem. I hate water because it has no flavor. I don't like drinking stuff that has no flavor. I'm a coffee drinker. And so they said, this is a long recovery, 6 months to a year. I don't see it being that long because I always push myself to do stuff. But they said it's very complicated. It's very complicated. It's a 2-hour surgery. And I'm going to have a hospital bed at home, hopefully when I get there, a lift to help me get in and out of chairs by myself, a handicapped toilet to get up and down off of the toilet on my own, and several other things. Oh, they put in for an aide to help me get dressed, an aide to help feed me, all that kind of bullshit. And they said that because of having the neck brace, that I won't be able to turn my neck um, to dress myself. So they will have a aide there to help me get dressed and help me eat and stuff. And sounds very scary and very complicated, but I have God on my side. And I've put it off this long just because no one would explain it. No one. I went to 3 previous surgeons and they would not explain nothing. My channel is really grown, Zach. I have 70 subscribers now. I cover a wide variety of topics now. I cover the stuff going on with Hurricane Helene. I did several videos on that. I did a bunch of videos on the YSL trials. I've got videos on politics. I've got like 108 videos. Your surgeon was not amused. Yeah, I've been doing just videos just to get more used to interacting with the camera. I've been doing videos, and I decided today that I needed to let my subscribers know that I am here, I am alive. I've just been going through a lot of stuff here lately because of this surgery and running to doctor's appointments. So I've just been doing 2 or 3 10-minute videos a day. And the stuff with this current hurricane that happened is just awful. I haven't done a video on that yet. That's coming. Yeah. Have you been following any of these lawfare things? I got a new lawsuit case that I'm following. It's about a judge in Kentucky, Judge Mullins. The sheriff deleted him from Earth. We'll put it that way. There's something untoward going on with the judge and the sheriff's daughter. They haven't come right out and said what it is, but I can surmise what it is by the evidence that's there so far. What has been going on? I have a lot of stuff on Kamala. I have a whole playlist on Kamala. The sheriff and the judge were having a meeting in the judge's chambers, and the sheriff was having trouble with his phone, which phones fuck up all the time. And so the sheriff asked the judge, said, "Hey, I'm trying to get a hold of my daughter, who's 16. He didn't say that, but he said, trying to get a hold of my daughter. Could I borrow your phone? My phone doesn't seem to work right now." Judge said, "Sure." The sheriff typed in his 16-year-old daughter's phone number and her contact information in, sounds like a picture, came up on the judge's phone. That didn't trip the sheriff off. He called his daughter. Whatever his daughter said when she answered the phone tripped his trigger, because he tossed the phone on the desk in front of the judge, pulled his service revolver, and the judge running over, cowered in the corner. He put 6 rounds in the judge. It's like, okay, so I consider myself a YouTube journalist. I can sit there and look at the existing evidence and say, okay, so what was going on between a 55-year-old judge and the sheriff's 16-year-old teenager? And so I call them cops up there, the Keystone Cops on steroids, because the cop was on the stand. He's the lead investigator, and the defense attorney asked him point blank, did you interview the sheriff's daughter? He said, no, I let somebody else do it. He said, did you collect her phone? He said, no, not yet. See no reason to yet. Okay. I have cousins that are cops. I called one of them over the weekend. He said, standard protocol. You send a female deputy to interview the teenage daughter. The deputy interviews the daughter alone. That wasn't done. She was interviewed in front of her mom. Number 2, he said, you collect her phone immediately. Because this happened like 2 weeks ago. They haven't collected her phone, so she can go through and delete any text messages between her and the judge, delete any phone recordings, like he called her, said whatever. She called him, said whatever. She can go through and scrub her phone. Then they have to take the phone and send it to the FBI and try and retrieve all of that. Yeah, Kamala. I've done quite a few on Kamala. Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to stomach her. Like her dad is a devout communist. He teaches Marxist economics at a college. She talks about growing up in Los Angeles. She was born in Los Angeles. She grew up in Canada. She did not grow up in Los Angeles. There's a recent interview, which I now can't find because I've had several people ask me for the video of the interview. It's been scrubbed. I did a Google search. No traces of it. But the interview was with Kamala's dad. And Kamala's dad, very point blankly in the interview, said that he was born in Jamaica, but he is half Irish and half Indian. He was just born in Jamaica. That means he is not black and she is not black. He said that the woman in the picture, the black woman that she claims rather, is her grandmother, is not her grandmother. Said that her grandmother died 4 years before she was born. She lies and lies and lies. She gets away with all these friggin' lies. I don't know how she gets away with it, but she does, you know. She had a disastrous interview on The View, and yeah, something else that her dad said. Her dad said he doesn't talk to her because they asked him, wasn't he proud of her for running for president, and would he go to the inauguration of her as president? He said, I wasn't invited when she became DA. I wasn't invited when she became AG of California. I wasn't invited when she became VP. So why would I go now? That's telling, isn't it? Why would he go now? That sounds like he don't ever talk to her, and she don't talk to him. Just like this whole nonsense that she went on this last interview with 60 Minutes and said she owns a Glock. I doubt she owns a Glock, because she has said numerous times in the past that she thinks that all guns should be confiscated. She said, we have the authority to walk right in your house, ask you for your gun registration, and if you can't provide it, take care of the problem, which I would say means that that she would take your gun. She has been for gun confiscation for several years, just like her issues on fracking. She has been against fracking her whole political career. And now, because she's running for president, she tries to say, oh no, I'm for fracking. Well, we can go to the videotape, and there's numerous videotapes of her saying, we will ban all fracking. We will ban all drilling in the Gulf. Yeah, it could reflect a strain between her parents, but her parents did not divorce. At least I have now found no record of her parents divorcing. She tries to say that she was raised by a single mom, but then she turns right around and says that she was raised in a loving home where her mom and dad took her to Marxist rallies. The two don't jive, you know what I'm saying? And just so much. She went on a podcast over the weekend, last weekend. Now, I find this hilarious. She would not do any interviews with any media. She goes on this podcast called Call Her Daddy, which teaches girls how to give BJs. And then she acted like oh, that this was just the greatest thing in the world. You really relate to your audience and blah, 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 and this and that. And she didn't answer any of the girls' questions. She talked in word salads the whole time. And the audience, surprisingly, is 70% Republican females. And at the end of the interview, people were saying, what terrible things she did talking to her. And how do I unsubscribe? I'm never watching again. Yeah, she was trying to appeal to the younger generation, but turned out that 70% of the audience she was talking to was conservative girls. Conservative girls. And she was bashing Trump and this and that. And at the end of the stream, or the interview rather, the girl said, blah, blah, blah to her and said goodbye, basically. And after the stream, people left and right were saying, I'm never watching again. How do I unsubscribe? How do I leave this? You're a disgrace for having this interview. So her viewership of 200,000 by the end of it all was down to like 80 or 90,000. She lost 60% of her audience. The girl at Call Her Daddy. Her name is Alex something. I've never watched it before, but oh, excuse me. Yeah. She's a mess. I do a lot of law videos. Performing that act really promotes equity. Yeah. Professor Nez, he says, diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI handles means didn't earn it. So let me talk about this DEI stuff for a second. You have this ongoing issue with FEMA. FEMA is not ready to help the victims of Hurricane Helene. I did 3 videos on that. And the head of FEMA said that hiring people through diversity, equity, and inclusion was more important than being ready for a hurricane because the DEI hires needed time to learn their job. Well, Hurricane Helene went through North Carolina, went through Chimney Rock, and there's a lady that her house was literally falling down around her. The person from FEMA was on the phone with her, called her and said, I'm sorry, I can't make it to see you. And the girl said, why? She said, there's a road closed sign. She said, just go around it because I'm right before the point where the road closes. And the girl said, no, I can't do that. I'm not allowed to go around any road closed signs or anything. good luck with your life, and turn around and left. That's disgraceful. That is beyond disgraceful. When the lady tells you that she's before where the road is closed and you're in FEMA and it's your job to help those in need from natural disasters, you're supposed to go. And Mayor Pete Buttigieg, this guy in North Carolina, in Asheville, was up in the mountains by Chimney Rock. He owns a package delivery service where he puts the package on a drone, programs where the bigger drone is going into this littler drone, flies the little drone up first, then the little drone tells the bigger drone where to take the package. Well, Mayor Pete put a TFR, total flight restriction, on the entire state, or western half of the state where the damage is. And he said, that's because we don't want people with drones flying them where we don't think they should go. And he told this guy with his package delivery service that in order to deliver the package, he had to have the name, address, and phone number of the person that he was taking the package to. And the guy said, well, that's a problem. There's no cell service right now up in the mountains at all. So how am I supposed to get their address, their phone number, and their name when there's no cell service? I can't call them. He said, what I have to do is take the package, put it on the drone, and put it on the street in front of the person's house that the area is in need, and just go house by house with the drone. They said, nope, not allowed to do that. So he had to stand down with delivering aid to people up in the mountains that can't get down because the hurricane washed away the road up into the mountains. It's just devastating. They got 40 inches of rain in 48 hours. The water overtopped the dam at Lake Lure. The dam gave way and sent a 25-foot wall of water down the river, through the mountain valley, into Chimney Rock. 3/4 of the town of Chimney Rock is gone. Just gone. People lost their houses, their cars, just swept away. Had on my first video, Chimney Rock Part 1, I talk about this lady who is blessed. Her house is still standing. And she's lucky that her house is still standing. She brought this guy in, this YouTuber that does interviews in the area and helps people out. And she showed him that 10 feet up the wall is the watermark, where there was 10 foot of water inside of her house. And then he says that but FEMA is not providing the aid. FEMA is taking the aid from the locals that are helping and locking it up and saying, we'll deliver it when we feel it's necessary. Elon Musk donated Starlink systems for every person in the mountain and FEMA confiscated them. And anyhow, this lady, you go to her back door. She had French doors, which are now gone. And she said, "Be careful." And the guy looked out the door, and outside of her back door, it drops down 20 feet. So he said, "Well, how do you get to your yard down there?" She said, "No, no, no, no. I had," she pointed, she said, "See 200 yards over there? That's where the river was." She said, "I had grass up to my back door." The river, when it came through like that, washed away 20 feet of dirt and grass and anything that was in the way. And then there was 10 foot out from her back door, and then 20 foot out, there was 2 6-foot boulders laying there. And the guy asked, "Well, how did them get there?" She said, "No, no, I don't, I never had any rocks of any kind in my yard, ever." And she's lucky because her house is still standing. Yeah, the door was blown off and stuff, but her house is still standing. Her house is structurally sound. Everybody else around her, the water washed away the entire building. And to me, I think that she is blessed. I did, 3 or 4 videos on her, well, not on her, but on Chimney Rock. I did the devastation, and then I did 2 on the aftermath. I've done, a wide variety of topics. A lot of people don't get into lawfare and stuff, so I try to do like some political, some law, and then current events. Yeah, I saw that if after I read it, after I reacted, rather. So how long into it the stream was it that the mic was messed up? First, how many minutes? $3.53. I just really enjoy doing this YouTube stuff. Oh, okay, 5 minutes. I'll have to. How can I do that? Yeah. Well, I'm going to jump off of here. I got to get ready and go up and get something to eat. I've missed talking to you, buddy. We have some good conversations, don't we? Yeah, I'm going to start doing more live streams. I've been doing just videos. I got like 118 videos now. Crazy, huh? I took the first available date. This tomorrow was the first available date. But next time you see me, I'll have a neck brace on of some kind and probably talk all hoarse. Oh, oh yeah. I'm going to. I plan on doing a stream on Monday when I get to the hotel because they're going to give me a hotel on Monday because I don't want to take weeks and weeks off from doing streams. I'm not taking much of any time, like a day here or a day there, you know, because I enjoy it and I don't see, you know, any reason why I should just stop just because I'm hoarse when I talk. So I'll see you on Monday. Take care.